Jones family long weekend break to Kiama, New South Wales, Australia, 4th to the 6th of October 1970, written by Jean Jones. Note: Labor Day was on the Monday, and this meant we could have a long weekend away. Saturday the 4th of October 1970. Packed up the car the night before with camping gear and left early morning to get through Sydney before it got busy. We arrived at Kiama, but it started to rain. Kiama is a very small, pleasant seaside town. We looked at the blowhole, which was not very high as there was not much wind. It must be spectacular at times. First campsite was caravans only, so we proceeded to the next one around the corner, which was very pleasant and was overlooking 2 beaches and was well grassed. We had to be careful as it was not a flat site. Car was jacked up. We pitched the tent, which cost $1 Australian. Wilfred rested and we walked along the beach and explored. I prepared the picnic. A boxer dog made friends with us, cupboard love we suspected. Wilfred and I slept in the car, which was not too bad as we had lilos and sleeping bags. We were concerned about the weather, but after thunder most storms passed over, but a sudden wind got up. Sunday the 5th of October 1970. Decided to visit the Mirramurra Falls. We passed through some very pleasant country. Jamboree was a nice little town on our way to the rainforest, and we had a climb up to the falls. There were fantastic trees and ferns, and it was well worth the climb. The whole ascent was an Australian mile. One of the trees was known as a cabbage tree. We then proceeded back through Kiama along the coastal road to Nowra and camped by a lovely wide river. It then turned very cold. At the site there was water skiing in our section and yachting further up. As it got very cold, turned in after tea. Brian made some noodle soup. It took ages to heat up. We were lucky as no rain again. Wilfred saw a glorious sunrise through the bridge. Monday the 6th of October 1970, Labor Day. Today we visited Nowra. We fossicked along the river and saw some magnificent views from above the river and valley. It became very hot by 11 a.m. We saw what we named Hanging Rock. There is said to be diamonds, emeralds, and topaz to be found in the Shoalhaven River, although we had no luck. We decided to find the Cordos Dam to have lunch. We took the wrong turning and found ourselves in Mount Kembla, which was very steep climb, but a nice little place up in the hills. It had an iron ore mine which presumably feeds the steel works at Port Kembla. We did eventually find the Cordos Dam. It was very pleasant there, with hundreds of people but plenty of room. We all walked over the dam and saw a heron fishing. Not quite so beautifully laid out as Warranora, which is prize-winning but very pleasant. It was the end of our trip, so we headed home. Very busy roads. We feared traffic jams at Campbelltown, but to our surprise we could keep going all the way. Jean noted the Rockhampton trip in 1969 there and back was 2,500 miles. She also noted that the trip was now on tape, which is maybe the tape Brian mentioned to Annie and Keith on their visit in November 2022.
What is the end goal of all this? Like, to get rich? To make a living doing this? Or